What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for April 3rd, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
La 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 la.
I'm confused. I'm always confused when you. I'm just God. Jesse, save me.
What?
Joining us as always, or not as always, but this week, I wish it was always. I wish schedules allowed Jesse to be on the show all the time. Jesse Douglas, the wise Wisconsinite, except he's wearing a Beavis and Butthead shirt. It's a cool shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not.
But
it's a spring break shirt.
But it's yeah. Anyways,
I mean, it is awesome because spring break did just pass. I think it just came spring break in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, we're spring break is just about coming to an end.
Okay. Because usually some schools in Wisconsin, like the first week of April, they go on spring break.
Yeah, we like my son goes back to school tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Tuesday. So
Tuesday.
That'll be the end of spring break, and then like it sounds like we're gonna be getting some nice snow within the next day or two. So
please don't. I don't want to have none of that down
here. Yeah. Guys, I'm so excited. You know why? Do you know why?
What?
Two things. A, it's PAX week, and I'm going.
Oh.
I'm going. So there probably won't be a show on Friday, guys. I'm just gonna throw that out there now for you guys who love listening to Power Block on Fridays. You're going to have to save this episode for Friday because there might be a few mini blocks. Ed and I might do some YouTube, Facebook Live stuff. I don't know how we're going to do it. I'm taking my laptop and a microphone. I don't know which one yet, though. But I'm going to PAX, and I'm excited to play Wolfenstein 2 because it's going to be playable there. I'm excited to play Dark Souls Remastered. I'm excited to play Donkey Kong. I'm excited for the Indie Mega Booth. I'm so excited. But B, I'm wearing the new Nerds Gone Rogue t-shirt.
Yay!
Very excited. I'm very excited. I got some test prints on Vistaprint and gonna try to figure out how to allow people to buy them. Of course, this isn't the only shirt. We've got other shirts, but as we have more details, just follow us wherever you can follow us, and we'll figure it out. But I'm very excited that shirts came in. Woo!
Yes!
So
yeah, and it looks awesome.
I love it. I love the redesign with the microphone inside the exclamation point. As Jesse pointed out before we started recording, he likes it too. That's always good. I don't trust Ed with what he likes and doesn't like.
Why? What?
Because it's always something weird and obscure, and it's not me.
I didn't.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding. You know I love you. You're like the sweet creamy center of the NGR Radio Oreo cookie.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. I think about it like, wait. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's fun. It's fun, guys. Oh, last night was so much fun. Squadrels was so much fun last night. Jesse and I played Fortnite last night. We came in second place, and by we, I mean Jesse came in second place, and I hid behind him the whole time. It was amazing. Oh.
Yeah, we kind of lucked into that one because like all of a sudden, because we got obviously to that position, but like we like in the grand scheme of everything, we didn't really have any weapons that were gonna guarantee our survival till the end, and that kind of becomes apparent at the end of that round. But yeah, I mean, still, it's still we were able to make it that far, which especially for me, because I'm not really great with the whole building thing yet. Like, I mean,
right. You were building ramps left and left and right. You
Yeah.
build us a hideout to hide in for the final round. Jesse's sitting there like building stuff and everything. I'm struggling to just switch to my med pack so I can heal up, and he's over here building like a house and some ramps to get up to some treasure chests, and then he built like a roof over our head, and then like he's building a whole neighborhood while I'm just sitting there trying to figure out how to switch from my pickaxe to my pistol. So,
But I just do it like quick though. I like my problem is I need to remember to like use materials that don't just get destroyed right away by a couple of bullets. Because like at one point because I ran out of wood, I built a concrete wall that takes a little bit more damage. But if we would have maybe like made it out of metal or something like that, the rocket from the rocket launcher might not have killed us. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But it's fine. we made it pretty far. I was pretty happy. And then like our Halo 3 excursion last night was awesome.
Yeah,
for squad goals. Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, it was it took a little while to try to remember all the buttons and stuff like that, but once I got used to it, it was like like second nature again.
Yeah.
For the most part, like there's a couple areas that we had trouble with, but it was still fun though.
Guys, it wouldn't be squad goals if we just kept being awesome. We have to mess up sometimes. That's the fun part. People can laugh and laugh and laugh. It's a good time. It's a good time. But other than what we did yesterday, Jesse, we'll start with you. What have you been playing this week besides the squad goal stuff?
Well, I've been playing. Actually, today I started Steam World Dig. The first one, because I've never played it, so. Like I started with the second one on Switch. That was, that's the first time that I had ever played a Steam World Dig game. So I started that and I enjoy it. It's definitely feels a little bit different, but at the same time, it's pretty similar to the second one.
Yeah.
Like I just starting out. Like I just literally was, getting in this game you can get ladders or whatever and stack them to be able to climb up to areas and whatever. Which I was surprised that they didn't still let you like when you're climbing a ladder be able to, like use your pickaxe while you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that in time, well, I'm sure they give you just like the second one more things to be able to get high up and stuff like that. But what else? Let's see. I played a little more Golf Story today too.
Still trucking through that game.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in a while, so I probably will start that back up again. And then I played also on Switch. I played some Bayonetta, the first one. I don't know how far I am exactly in that game, but I need to start playing that some more again too, because lately I've just been playing a lot of stuff on Xbox. Because I just recently I did end up picking up Far Cry 5, so I've been playing that and enjoying that a lot, because like one of my favorite games is the Just Cause series. Like I've played all of those and have the third one, and I from time to time I go back and play that usually, just because it's one of those games that are just kind of fun, just screwing around, like Grand Theft Auto and all those kind of games where you just go and do just do stuff to have fun. You don't even really necessarily have to do story stuff. So I've been playing that, and it's amazing, the graphics in that game, and just like I love the whole aspect of it. Like it's like feels like like Siege almost, but if Siege was an open world and like everything in the world looked even more realistic than Siege does, which is kind of hard to do.
Yeah, how's that
It's
even
like
possible?
Siege is, yeah. Well, it's like they just do so good at like such a good job with the textures and stuff like that in Far Cry 5. So, but I've been enjoying that. I haven't played too much of it just because this weekend and week has been kind of screwy. So I I don't want to be playing that around the kids too much because it's not really for kids at all, for their eyes. So that, and then a lot of Sea of Thieves, and what else? Let's see. And I got a new Xbox controller finally. But I think that's pretty much it.
Nice.
So I guess I kind of played a good mix of the two systems of Xbox and Switch. But Switch is more so just this weekend, the last day or two. So
Yeah, I'm trying to get all my Switch games together and figure out what I'm going to take to PAX with me. I'm like, dude, it's like I've been knowing that I'm going to PAX, but like this weekend it's just like, especially like today, it just kind of like hit me like it's coming on Wednesday. You're leaving at 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And you're going, and it's just like, I'm trying to get all my games together to figure out what I'm gonna play. And so like I'm trying to figure out like, do I take this? Do I take that? Do I take my 3DS? I don't even know. So,
I think you can leave the 3DS at home.
what if I get a itching for like Box Boy or Fire Emblem, Ed? What am I gonna play?
I think you're going to be so busy at PAX that you won't even have time to do it.
See, I thought about that, but if we're in a line that's like super long,
Yeah.
I'm gonna want something to do. I'm just gonna start a Nerds Gone Rogue chant. Nerds Gone Rogue. No. No. Okay, never mind. Ed, what have you been playing?
So I'm going to start with Xbox One. Finally beat Ori and the Blind Forest. People follow me on Twitter at the Retro Code. If you follow me on Twitter, see my post. As great as that game is, it has a lot of flaws. I'm not gonna get far too into it, but I am glad that I pursued through it and that I beat it. Got the ending. It was charming, heartfelt, and I'm delete this game off my Xbox One and keep it in the background and just be like, I don't want to play this because this game is frustrating. Beautiful, love the story and love the but it's still a frustrating game. So that's that. Play some Halo with the guys and Sea of Thieves with Jesse. We ended up playing a little bit of that. Once again, I apologize for falling asleep on you. I didn't plan on having that happen to me. Literally, I was on the ship waiting for you to come on to sail for our next adventure, and I laid down on my bed and put my controller. And when I woke up, I was like in some purgatory with some ghosts. I'm like, what the heck happened? Did I get disconnected? I'm like, what the world happened? So,
That's our Ed falling asleep during some Sea of Thieves.
yeah.
Again, played Oxenfree on Xbox One. Really enjoying this game. Getting a little bit further into it. Trying to learn the mystery of the island that I'm on. So that's kind of going to be somewhat my next indie game for one. But I am going to be dropping into Quantum Break. Like I said, I got that installed, but I really want to go through that game and start it up. Also picked up Crackdown, and so I do want to give that game a try. For Switch, been playing Sengoku 3. It's one of Neo Geo's beat 'em up games. This one I played in the arcade. It's a little bit more designed than the past games, and it's kicking my tail, but I'm loving every moment. It gives you kind of like unlimited continues, and um, you have options to move your buttons around and stuff. But I just played it in this original format that it's in, for that. Played Blossom Tail also. Got to this. I'm in the second dungeon. The first boss wasn't too hard to beat from the first dungeon, but about to get into, or I should say, second boss for the first dungeon. You fight a rat like in the castle, and then this boss that you fight is like really easy. It's not too much. You gotta shoot arrows in the thing, skull bones, eyes, and stuff. So that one was easy. So I'm about to get into the second dungeon of the game. And work a little bit more on that. And then when I looked on my Switch, I kind of looked at all the past games that I played it, and each of them deals with a beat 'em up besides like Blossom Tail, like Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, Gakaido, Sengoku 3, and then there is Blossom Tail. I did revisit Graceful Explosion Machine for a quick second, and then like literally stopped. Be like, okay, I had enough of this game. I need to put it down. Last but not least, I did pick up some great garbage games for Xbox One, but only one that I really want to mention that I picked up Homeworld Frontline. I think that's it.
Homefront Revolution.
The Revolution, yeah. Homeworld Frontline. Oh,
whatever. It's all the same.
I picked that up for like $10, like brand new, and I cannot wait to play this game. Like, I want to laugh at it. I want to see how broken this game is, and then yeah, I just want to experience it. But I got it for cheap, so I'll be playing that probably in a couple of weeks. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. And Era Oasis also on 2DS.
Yeah, the Homefront game. I was so excited for that game when it was first being announced, but then I kind of lost interest once I found out that it was going to be something different. Like, cause I liked the original one. I was such a big fan of the original first one.
The first one was really good.
Yeah, like I loved the whole storyline in that game, like the whole story mode and everything that it like kind of touched on, and that story was really good.
Yeah, I think that game the first one could have used, I think, like 2 more levels. Because when it ended after like the 7th level, we're just like, yeah, y'all really ran out of money, and you ran out of ideas for a story. But yeah, I like the first Homefront. This one though, I think it had a lot of development problems, so that's why it turned out the way that it did.
Yeah. I never played Homefront. I always wanted to, but then I just never got into it.
Yeah, like the first one was basically, it was like almost like a mix between like Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like it had like a more realistic feeling, like maps, and like I don't know, it felt like a Battlefield game, but at the same time it had like, you had kill streaks and things like that, just like you had in, having Call of Duty. So it was like a nice mix, and it was different. And the crazy part was that, like, I actually preferred it over Call of Duty, because even though it was a small game and like didn't have that big of a following, they still spent the money to have dedicated servers, something that Call of Duty still barely does. So
yeah,
it's like, yeah, like how are these guys giving us dedicated servers to play their games, and Call of Duty still can't?
Jesse, did you ever play Spec Ops: The Line?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should play that game. That game is amazing.
That game is that needs a remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody
What-
like ever remastered that game, I'd be there day one. That game was amazing.
What was it on?
360 and
360,
it's backwards
PS3.
compatible if you ever like find a copy
Oh.
or whatever.
Okay.
It's oh my gosh, it's so good. It was on sale like
It
2
really
weeks
is
ago.
good.
I wish we were talking about this 2 weeks ago because it was on sale. When
nice.
it was on sale when like they announced a whole bunch of backwards compatible stuff.
Yeah, it's part of. I know it's part of the humble bundle deal.
Oh yeah, it's free on
on
PC,
PC.
right now.
Yeah, but yeah, dang it. If it ever goes back on sale on Xbox One, I'll pick it up, and if you don't have the money, I'll give it to you.
No, it's so good.
Cool.
It's got like
yeah,
If it
starts
doesn't
out-
show up on Game Pass first.
yeah,
Is it-
I can't believe that game's not on Game Pass. Personal, like honestly, like that game. Oh, that game's so good. It's so good.
well,
The
yeah,
story. What?
there's a couple of things that I'm kind of surprised aren't on Game Pass. Like, I'm surprised they haven't put like some of their backlog on Game Pass yet, like Ori and the Blind Forest and and things like that. Like, because isn't that technically a Microsoft game?
Yeah.
It's a Microsoft published game, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't put like stuff like that that's published by Microsoft on there yet, and certain things like that.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
because I wonder if the new Ori and the Blind Forest will be on there.
Yeah.
It probably won't because it's from a different. It's an indie game from a different developer.
Oh,
So Microsoft just does the publishing. So they just got the
Oh.
exclusive rights to publish it.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of like the way that Cuphead was published?
Yeah.
Ori and Cuphead kind of fall into that same vein, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess that's a good thing though too, because I'd rather that Cuphead and Ori and stuff like that still be the only way that you get it is by spending money, because then that way they're not missing out on making money off of their copies of it or whatever, the developers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Gosh, now I just want to play some Spec Ops. That game's so good.
Which I okay, yeah, because I know this is this is Pop Block. I wonder if Nintendo and these developers are going to do humble bundles for the Switch, because when they were doing it for Wii U, everybody was on it.
Yeah. I don't know yet because of like I don't know. I just think the system is too new at this point and they just kind of want to figure everything out still, and I think if anything like that happens, it's going to be like after after their online service is up, just like everything for that system. Gosh, hurry up. I want that. I want the online so bad. But
it was just, I think a lot of people were shocked that Nintendo would jump on the humble bundle deal, because I don't think because Sony and Microsoft has never done it.
yeah, I don't think either of them have ever done it either.
Yeah, no, I don't think they have at all.
Yeah.
So.
And they did it, and the first time they did it for a really good cause. So that's why I was just like, if I didn't own all you indie games, I would definitely buy a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much I would buy on Switch if it was like on sale or part of a bundle or something. I just, the money's not there right now at the moment. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes right now. Money's kind of just gotta prioritize stuff,
Yeah.
So, but
I feel you on that.
yeah. So, but speaking of SteamWorld Dig 1, Jesse, I ended up buying it too, and I'll probably end up playing it this week while I'm at PAX because like I had enough Nintendo Gold points to get it for free when it was still $5 on sale. So I was just like, why not? I've heard enough good things about this game to where I could probably just play it and buy it with these gold coins, and we'll see. So I downloaded it. I played some Splatoon actually, which is strange. I wanted to play something kind of competitive, but like not super competitive, and like Fortnite's kind of got me in that zone where like I want to play something that's easy to pick up, but I don't have to like keep playing it to feel like I accomplished something in it.
Yeah.
But I was in the other room watching TV, and I was like, you know what? I'll play some Splatoon. And Splatoon 2 is so good, man. It's just like, it feels so good to get through like a match, and I still have my paint roller just slamming it down on guys. Dude, I ran up behind these two guys who were traveling together with some I don't know what they were using, but like I rolled up behind them and I literally just ran them over because they were moving just slow enough, and I had an increased speed perk on. Oh, it felt so good to roll over two guys at once. It was good.
Wow.
It was really good.
Yeah, I still need to get that. And I want it because I've been wanting to get, because I didn't own the first one, and I had played it at my friend's, but so like now this would basically be my first time owning the franchise at all. So I think it would be kind of a good be fine though starting off with this one instead. So I'm not really at this point missing out too much on the first one. So
yeah, you should find a way to play it because it's really good. It's really fun, and like I think it's something maybe your kids could get into if they ever wanted to like try it too.
Yeah, and that would be something too that I can play with them. That's not like overly violent or like that is is kind of like a first person shooter type game, but without the the guns per se. So
yeah, and like their guns are like, I don't even use the guns half the time. I use the paint roller, and I use like this little bomb, like this, like it's like this. It's kind of like a beacon that kind of explodes. You just kind of toss it out, and it just kind of lands wherever it wants, and then it just covers
the triangle one. Or
whatever. It just kind of like explodes whenever it wants to, and then just splatters everywhere. And if people are in the way, it does damage. It's so cool. Oh, it's so good. And I like.
Yeah, I have played it. I just haven't haven't bought it yet. So, but yeah, because I did like what I played.
Yeah, and like I like the paint roller because you can get into nooks and crannies that people just kind of skip over. And in a game where covering as much area as you can, if you just kind of like focus on your base, like if you just focus on covering your base first, and then you start rolling the ramps up to your starting point, and then just kind of work your way down. Like I kind of use the paint roller and stay behind while a lot of my teammates just kind of go straight for the center to start shooting people. I just take like the side ramps or the main ramps down, or like these side platforms. I just cover them in paint because like while they're getting in fights and stuff, I can just cover stuff while the other team's being distracted. Like it's so simple, and it's just like it feels so good.
Yeah,
won every game I played, which was 3 games.
Nice.
I won 3 games, and I was like, you know what?
Right.
That was good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mostly go to the sides when I started, and then let them all fight, and just I try to get to the other side easier so I could cover more paint on their side to make it harder for them to cover up.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so much fun. But what else have I been playing besides like the squad goal stuff?
Kind of bummed I missed out. I could maybe still tonight play the test punch for arms or whatever, but I haven't played arms.
It's on sale on the eShop right now. It's like 40% off right now.
Yeah.
And Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is like 50% off right now.
Nice.
What else?
People should go out and get those games. Like both of those are, like I haven't like played arms. Well, I guess I played a little bit, like really early when it was coming out, but like I only played it for like a minute or two. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I play? I think I played a little bit more Doom, and I don't know. I'm enjoying my playthrough of that game, but it wasn't what I wanted at that point. You know, because like I'm not trying to put Doom down, but it's just not the game I was feeling at that point. Especially because like we've been playing so much Halo that I'm just like I don't know if I want to play another first-person shooter right now. So I went to Celeste. I played a little bit of Celeste. I played a little bit more Bayonetta, and Super Meat Boy. Those are just kind of like my fallback games if I don't know what to play. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Corey. We also played a little game that was in HD.
Oh, we played Wind Waker. That's right. Ed and I played
nice.
some Wind Waker for Pod and Play. That's where is that episode? I have my laptop right in front of me. I'm trying to figure. Oh, that's the April 28th episode. That seems so far away right now. So yeah, we played some Wind Waker. We actually played a lot of Wii U this past week, Ed. Like, I mean, I know we talked about it on last week's episode, but like, we played Super Mario 3D World and Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, and
Yeah.
we've been playing a ton of Wii U, and it makes me miss that console a little bit, but it also makes me wish, like, man, I want these games to be portable so I can take them with me on Switch. We've been talking so much about Wind Waker and how much we wanted to just like take that game with us everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's man, Wind Waker's so pretty. Dude, that water and just like the trees swaying and in the grass, like it looks like the grass and the trees and stuff look like it almost has like this weird kind of whimsical paper aesthetic to it, where like everything just kind of sways together. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Paper Mario, a little bit. Not like really like Paper Mario, but just that feel and that texture look. It actually kind of almost reminds me of Yoshi's Woolly World more, I guess. But like it's just like swaying back and forth, and the grass, when you cut it, the leaves fly up in the air and they float away and they just kind of disappear. And then when you kill an enemy, the purple puffs of smoke that come out around them, and then like the purple light that just goes into the middle. Those animations are like, they're so simple, but they're so just beautiful because of the art direction. Oh, Wind Waker. Wind Waker is just...
That's a game that I think I would like to revisit now that like, like after, because when I was one of those people when it first came out, I was kind of bummed that it was the cell shading, because I've just had I don't know what it is, but I've just had an issue with cell shading in general. It wasn't even that it was, that because it was that game in cell shading, it was just, I just never really got into the cell shading art for games or whatever. Like it just didn't catch my eye as much.
Yeah, and Ed and I talked about that on Expansion Pack. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like I want to add on to your point. It was like it was at a time where like we were really getting into like games were starting to grow up with us, and I think we wanted to see how Zelda was going to grow up with us after playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and all those games. And they showed that awesome demo at Space World that year of Link fighting Ganon, and for the GameCube tech demo, and they showed everything there ended up coming out exactly how it was coming out. Like Luigi's Mansion was shown off, Pikmin was shown off. Was Metroid shown off? I don't remember if Metroid was shown off that year, but like, all these different GameCube games were shown off. Star Wars was shown off. That was the other one I was thinking of. And then they show this awesome Zelda demo, and we were like, this is the most amazing Zelda game I've ever seen. And then we ended up getting Wind Waker, and like a lot of people were disappointed that we didn't get that and when we got Wind Waker. And like, to your point, Jesse, like that's a game that's kind of been underappreciated twice now because it was stuck on GameCube, where it sold 20 million units, it sold fine, but people wanted that next Zelda to be a more mature story and more mature graphics, and then it got stuck on the Wii U, which was severely undersold as well. So and then
Yeah, cause I was like kind of bummed too. Then later on, when the Twilight Princess then came out, and I'm like, why couldn't Wind Waker have been like this? Like this game. But still have the same story and everything, but it be Wind Waker have the looks of what eventually Twilight Princess had. And so I was. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. It was like, we had this really unique, cool, really well done style for Ocarina of Time and stuff, and I was like, oh, I couldn't wait for it to be something similar to that, but better, way better looking, because that little bit more powerful of a system, and then it ended up being, which it's fine. Like for me, like it's because of the cell shading. I just, like I said, I've always had a hard time getting into that art style for games. So, but yeah, I mean, now we've got Breath of the Wild, and it's it's amazing. So
yeah, I mean, Breath of the Wild's just like, oh, it's so good. We were also talking that how we kind of wanted Kid Icarus to take on a Wind Waker / Breath of the Wild-esque art style. Like if they just kind of made it like an open world kind of thing, similar to Breath of the Wild, but more vertical, because it takes place in, I don't know, the clouds or heaven or mountain, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a Kid Icarus enthusiast, so I can't really tell you where that game takes place. I just know that his bow turns into 2 swords in Smash Brothers, and I'm good to go. So
yeah, I know. I didn't really ever get into Kid Icarus too much either. I mean, I've played some of the games over the years. Like I played the original one on NES or whatever. But
yeah,
I haven't really got into that either too much.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that, and I played a little bit of the 3DS one when it came out, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what to do anymore with this game. But anyways,
but there's a game for everybody. Yeah. That's the thing about Nintendo is that there's a lot of games that they make that might not be for you, but they're definitely for someone. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. But anyways, let's I guess we can dive into some of this news that kind of exists, but not really. A lot of the stuff that came out this weekend. We're recording a day early, by the way, so this is why there's not too much news. Plus PAX is this week, so we'll have a lot to talk about more next week. But Ed, you brought this to my attention. Level 5 says all future main titles will be on Switch. This comes from Game Informer. If it loads. Akira Hino, the CEO of Level 5, has told Japanese website Nikkei Trendy that they plan to focus mostly on Switch from here on out. Level 5, the developers behind games like Professor Layton, Inazuma 11, and more recently Ni no Kuni 2, told the website that they were going to end up doing a lot of their games on Nintendo's hybrid system in the future. Basically, in the future, our main titles will be released on Nintendo Switch. The idea is that what we have created for 3DS will move over to Switch. So that's kind of exciting news.
Yes.
Ed, I know you're super excited.
I'm super excited. Everybody, a lot of people have been playing Ni no Kuni 2 that just came out on PS4 and saying how good their game is. And Level 5 works very well and sells very well on Nintendo's consoles, or handheld, I should say, with the Professor Layton games. And I would love to see a lot of those titles to come to Switch, but their next couple of games that they're going to be making is going to be on Switch. And a lot of people who like and love Level 5, I think they're going to make a bigger profit off of Nintendo. They don't have to, they could still sell big, but I don't think they don't have to sell too big where they're not making any money or anything. Because
Yeah.
I think Nino Kuni 2 probably cost them a lot.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to do you think they're going to bring Nino Kuni 2 to Switch? Just because Nino Kuni was on DS.
Um, if they do, it probably won't be until next year. I don't know if they got any kind of exclusive deal with Sony at the moment, but if they don't, I think it'll be out next year. Because they got to port all of that stuff over to Switch.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Jesse? Are you excited? Are you excited for some level 5 action?
I actually don't know a whole lot about Ni no Kuni. I don't think I've ever really played any of them, but I know a little bit about it. It's like more of like an RPG type game, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
like
This
kind of like
the first one.
school.
The first one's more kind of JRPG kind of
yeah,
Pokemon style, almost battle system type thing, and then this one's more of an action RPG.
Hold on, did Level 5 do Dark Cloud?
Level 5 did. I don't know if they did Dark Cloud. I know they did. Didn't they do? I always get Level 5 and Factor 5 mixed up. Didn't they do Luigi's Mansion? And they did Professor Layton.
Yeah, they did do Dark Cloud.
Look at Jesse getting the info. I feel like they did Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon though, but I don't. I feel like that's wrong, but I feel like it could also be right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. I'm always wrong. It's okay. But yeah, that seems to be like that's coming to Switch, some level 5 goodness. So something to look forward to in the future. Something that on to the next story. Something that is sort of Nintendo related, but at the moment is not. Square showed off some Dragon Quest XI footage. Did you watch that, Ed?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't gotten to see any yet.
It looks phenomenal. Like that game, like I went from not really caring about that game till like.
Is it a new trailer or is it?
It's not a trailer. It's like the opening areas of the game they showed off. Like they just showed the character running through the levels.
I did see it.
Oh, that game looks phenomenal. Like it went from like not really kind of being on my list to like it's on my list.
Yeah.
That game looks super phenomenal. So like we said last week, that game is coming to PS4 and PC first here in the West, and then it's coming to Switch later. I really want them to add the 3DS 8-bit or 16-bit style to it. I really want them to. And I think honestly for Square, I think the success of Project Octopath Traveler, I know this is kind of like a long way around because those teams are totally different and like one doesn't really affect the other, but I think that the success of Octopath Traveler in that art style is going to determine if they put that in the Switch version. You think that makes sense?
It just makes sense if we're not getting the 3DS version to put it in the Switch version, because that was one of the things that people found very cool. Switching the game, you know, a lot of people who are old school who still want to play it in that 8-bit format and that look, they were able to do that on 3DS. So to not have that on Switch, I won't say it's a disservice or anything, but I think some people will miss it from it. Because you can have those beautiful graphics, but you also can have that retro feel that makes the Dragon Quest games what they are.
Yeah. I really liked the 3DS. Like it was one of the games I was kind of looking forward to on 3DS because like whatever you're doing on the top, the same thing was happening in a 16-bit kind of overhead art style on the bottom, which was really cool. It was like a really, really cool, interesting twist on playing this game. And it was like, oh, well, maybe I want to play the rest of the game in this art style, or maybe I want to play the rest of the game in that art style. And you could switch back and forth, which was so cool.
Yeah.
So I really hope they decide to bring that to Switch. So, Ed, do you need us to pause or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So the last kind of sort of news story here. Psyonix reveals details of the new graphics update for Rocket League. A couple of months ago, Psyonix made it clear that it would be releasing a patch for Rocket League on Switch in the future, which would be adding new video options to give fans greater control over the fidelity of the experience. The update is due to launch on April 3rd next week, so the studio has chosen to detail what all would be contained in the patch. As you'd expect, there's plenty of good news. The existent mode that Rocket League plays in will be referred to as performance mode, but there will also be a quality mode that caps the frames at 30 frames a second and bumps the resolution to 1080p docked and 720p handheld, in addition to other improvements like lens flare, light shafts, dynamic shadows, and depth of field. In addition to this, video capture support will be added as well, so you can save your recordings for all those sweet goals. Oh, man. Rocket League is a game that I keep meaning to go play, and I just always forget it exists.
I'm wondering if the Switch is ever gonna have video capturing ability, like if they were to set it up like in the future, where if you just push the screen capture button, it would just take a picture, but if you hold it down, you could activate a recording mode.
Well, it does that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's only for certain games right now. It has to be patched in. But I know all of Nintendo's first party games do it. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle does it. There's a couple indie games that have patched it in. I know Shovel Knight just patched it in because it was something so many people had been asking for a long time. So I'm glad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a relatively recent feature. Probably like the last. Well, let's see, it's April now, so probably like January, I think maybe they put it in. But yeah, that's exciting that they're going to allow people to do that for Rocket League now, and it's also game specific. Like I said, they have to patch it in, but yeah.
And so that's how you do it. Then you just hold down the capture button, and then it will record.
Record. Well, it records your last 30 seconds.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah, and then you just go in through the menu of the Switch, and you go down to your captures and your screenshots and stuff, and they'll be saved under there.
Okay. Nice.
So
I'll have to remember that.
Oh, okay. So another piece of news here. New Fire Emblem Warriors DLC content is now available for purchase. It's the Fire Emblem Warriors, or Fire Emblem Warriors is getting Fire Emblem Awakening DLC. Sorry, my microphone is giving me feedback. Are you guys hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just deal with it then. So the DLC focuses on Fire Emblem Awakening and sees the addition of Owen, Tharja, and Olivia to the roster. It also brings new history mode maps, new skills, new weapons, and new costumes. And then they have a whole bunch of things that are coming other than the characters and costumes and maps and stuff. Some characters are getting dedicated weapons. They're tweaking some weapon skills, and then there's a whole patch notes thing, which I'm not going to read here, but I'm glad that game's still getting support. I was a little bit worried about that game, just because it's a Warriors game, you know. But I mean, they supported Hyrule Warriors for a long time, and we're still getting Hyrule Warriors again on Switch. So
They supported it, enough to give it a port.
Yeah,
Right.
Well,
The definitive edition.
Yeah, I am interested to see what they added from the 3DS version though to this version, but Yeah, Fire. That's a game that I just like. I wanted to be into so much, and then I just got so much at once that I started going this way and this way and this way and this way with so many other games that it was like. And then Mario Odyssey came out a week later. I'm like, I gotta play Odyssey so we can talk about it.
Right.
And then I never went back. Same with Xenoblade. Like I got like 10 hours into Xenoblade and I was loving it, and then I just got pulled in 100 different directions and I never went back. Those are the two games that I feel bad that I never went back to. Maybe I'll take those with me to PAX. I'll take those. So
Gotta take some Mario Kart though, and hopefully you can get into like a big multiplayer match with a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking Mario. I'm definitely taking Mario Kart. I'm definitely taking ARMS because I will try to destroy people in ARMS since nobody plays it except for me. That was another game I played this weekend, by the way, was ARMS. Still good, by the way. ARMS still good. Everybody listening to the show, ARMS is still good. Please buy it.
Yeah, I do want to pick it up eventually.
But yeah, I mean, I understand if it's like a money thing, but like if you have disposable income and you have a Switch and you have not bought ARMS, you're dead to me. You do not get to listen to my podcast. You do not get to check out our YouTube content. Fired. Just kidding. Please subscribe and share. But that's kind of it with the news. I know this episode is going to be a little bit short, but there's one kind of mini topic I want to ask you guys about. And it's not even really a topic. It's like I'm having trouble trying to find time to play games for myself other than like the NGR stuff, right? Like, I mean, I'm playing a lot of games, but it feels like I'm struggling when I have time to play games by myself. Like, I'm struggling to find a game to just sit down and play for myself. And like, have you guys ever felt that? Like, I just don't feel like playing games right now, or like I can't find the thing that's going to scratch the itch that I don't know what the itch is scratching.
I think sometimes for me, it's just like sometimes I just don't feel like playing games. And other times I'd be like, you know what, I got to get some gameplay in. And so I like right now I have started to work on my backlog, and I'm trying to stay committed on working on that because I got too many stuff that I need to play that I want to get through. I think when I start going through my backlog, I kind of do it mostly for enjoyment and kind of saying that, yes, success. I finished this game and now I can move on. So like for me, like most of the time I try to find like maybe in the evening time before I go to bed that I get like 3 or 4 hours worth of game time in when I'm not doing anything because it'll show that time is for me not only to enjoy a game but to like make progress in my library of games.
Yeah. What about you, Jesse? I know your situation is like, well, my situation soon is going to turn into a similar situation of yours.
Yeah. I mean, like, I run into that, but for me, I guess for me, it's a little bit different. Like during the week I can play, now I can play stuff a little bit during the week. It used to be until I got a Switch, you've got it when you're playing on a console, it's kind of a dedicated thing that you have to do. You have to sit down in front of your TV or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's just not something that I really can do too much, when you're taking care of kids and stuff. Because like I work third shift, so then I literally wake up, get my son from the bus, and then I gotta try to make sure he's getting his homework done, he's getting his reading done, and then like I have to, I'm trying to get better at sitting down with him and helping them with the reading, because it's like I'd like be like, okay, you read, I gotta start dinner here, because he's gonna be hungry, and and soon my wife and my daughter will get home, and and so I'd be trying to do all these things all at once, and it's like there's no time for games anywhere in that, like, because I want to try to make sure dinner and everything's done, and all the important things. But now, at least with the Switch, like I can at least get some gaming in. Like basically what I end up doing is I sit down with my son, get his homework and his reading done, and then while I'm cooking dinner I can have the Switch there and kind of do stuff on the Switch while I'm making dinner, because at some point there's a lot of just waiting while things are cooking or whatever. And so then I can just pick up, like, for me it was like SteamWorld Dig 2 or like something like that you don't necessarily have to keep on playing, that you could literally just set down and not play it and don't have to worry about your character dying or anything like that. So, but yeah, so for me though, like my issue that I have is, like, I like Siege and a lot of those games that will always pull me back. So my struggle is getting myself to play other games. Like, I've been doing better with it recently, but like I have too many games that are like my go-to that like pull me away from playing other things.
And that
So
that might be one of the problems, that you got to break your go-to games.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because if I don't, personally, for me, like when you have your go-to games, I think that's when most of your library is finished of you beating them, and because you can always find a new go-to game while you're playing new games that's in your library. I think the thing about it is the safe bet that go-to games give a lot of people, and instead of trying to, we be excited throughout the year for all these games, we pick them up and then we just let them lay there, and they will stay there in their box for months and for weeks because our go-to games take up that time. So I think for a lot of, like, kind of with you, Jesse, I think you might, even with you, Corey, I think you might have to start breaking your go-to games and start playing new stuff, even if it's just for 30 or 45 minutes. Like, try to make some progress in that. And as sad as it is to say, your go-to games that you do play, maybe you might have to reduce it to playing probably playing it like once a week, until you get most of your library finished. And then once you finish it, then you can go back to your go-to games.
Yeah. I'm struggling to just, like, find time to just sit down and play anything, like literally anything. Yeah. And I mean, it's not a bad thing, because I love playing, games for squad goals with you guys, and I love playing pod and play stuff, and I love playing Bloodborne with Matt and Moose when we get a chance to do that. And I just sometimes I'm like, man, I want to play something, but nothing's like hitting the spot right now. And
yeah,
that's why I went back to like 3DS for a little bit and was like playing Box Boy and Tetris and Fire Emblem, because I'm like, this is kind of the only thing that's kind of hitting the spot right now. But like, I've played so much Box Boy and Tetris, like, not just like the last couple of weeks, but my whole entire life I've been playing Tetris, and it's like, I feel like I'm not making any progress because like I'm always thinking about, well, when we go to talk about what we've been playing on every show, like Tetris is 40 years old at this point. Like, everybody knows what Tetris is, and I feel like I'm not accomplishing something for us, and it's like, it's a vicious cycle, man. It's just a cycle. It's like,
well, you know what you like, because like I said, like I was having that issue too, but like I'll be honest, like that, like not, just sticking to one single game, or not really having much to talk about. I fixed that, like getting Game Pass. Like seriously, there's a lot of like games on Game Pass that I want, that I was like interested in playing, and because they're free with the subscription, they're there, for me. So I literally just like go crazy downloading like a bunch of the games on there, and I think, like
But then
I should make myself play this because this is something different. It's something that I can talk like about. And some of those games, yes, they may have been out for a little while already, but at the same time, like they're also, some of those games are stuff that I haven't heard anyone talk about. So
it is some of the most of the thing is the commitment. How long are you going to be committed to playing that game? Because this is a question that I asked you guys, that I'm going to be asking you guys on Arsenal X about Game Pass. It's like, do you think it's going to be successful with Microsoft, because they offering all of these games? People could download them and everything, but like how much benefit are you going to get out of Game Pass by finishing the game? Even if you 100%, even if your goal is to 100% it, how many times are you going to try to be finishing the game and then deleting it from the system?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about it more on Arsenal X, but I think, like in my case, like a good example of how the, like having Game Pass could make you actually like buy other games and more games outside of Game Pass is when I played Rhyme, and actually it wasn't, Rhyme wasn't, or well, yeah, I guess it was in the Game Pass, but I played Rhyme, and then after I played Rhyme, that made me want to play Seasons, after Fall, and it made me want to play like, more games that were similar to that. And so, like, it's kind of sparked my interest into games like that outside of my
wheelhouse.
Yeah. So I mean, I think in some ways that can help there too. Like, it will make people interested in wanting to get maybe games that company made, other games that aren't on Game Pass. And like kind of, like take you through a rabbit hole basically of you just like searching for other games that are similar. And that's the thing that was nice with Game Pass, is it does give you a lot of different experiences to try out that maybe you haven't tried before. And it, like me with Rhyme, it's sparked my interest in more, trying to find more games like that. So, and like, to bring it back to Nintendo, like I'm so bummed that it's not coming out until 2020. But like the game that made me want to own a Switch, that Seasons of Heaven, like that game I think is going to be a lot like Rhyme, in the sense where it's not really going to be like, there's not going to be vocals and stuff like that in the game. Like, it's visuals and sound is basically going to tell the narrative. So I'm looking, after beating Rhyme, I'm like even more now. So looking, to playing that game. And they did some really cool things I can talk about, because I don't know. Did you guys end up watching that interview at all?
No. I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay. I can send it to you guys, but I could talk about that a little bit if you want me to extend this a little bit and kind of inform people a little bit about that game, like they're doing something kind of cool that hasn't really been done before with it. So like it's based off of a novel, and so each year, since they mentioned it, each year a novel is coming out. And so when the third final one comes out, it will be 2020, and that's when they want to try to have the game done.
Mhm.
And so when you're reading the novel, there's going to be pages that are blank that don't have anything on them. And so when you play it, when the game comes out, what you're playing in the game will fill those voids of the pages that are missing in the book. So so you can, just play the game and enjoy it the way it is. But if you're reading the stories, the novels, then you're going to want to play the game to kind of get that missing pages of the books. So they're kind of like trying to tie the novel and the game together like that. So which is kind of neat. I've never really heard of that before. So, but yeah, like I've been looking forward to that game since day one, but it's kind of early though to tell exactly what direction it's going in. But
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes out.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. I think the next game I'm like really kind of looking forward to right now is God of War on PS4. Like that's like the game I have my eyes set on. That I'm like, okay, this is the one I'm really gonna sit down and play a couple hours a night, like after my wife goes to bed, or wake up early Saturday morning and play through some of it. And but like until then, I'm just like, just gotta. I don't know, but.
Stay focused.
Yeah. So plus, we're trying to get ahead on content and stuff, and
Look, I'm just gonna admit to you right now, May is a mess. May is just a mess of games.
yeah, I know. And we're just talking Nintendo. May is a mess of games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
but when it's May, we will get there. But for now, this has been Nintendo Power Block. Remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block on Tuesdays and Fridays here on ngrradio.com/Nintendo Power Block or youtube.com/ngrradio. Like I said at the top of the show, there won't be a show this Friday because of PAX. Ed and I are going to try to get together and do some stuff for PAX coverage, but who knows? We'll see. I'm going to do my best. I'm taking stuff with me to do that. So maybe we'll see some old friends on some of those shows, like Joey. I miss Joey. I can't wait to hang out with Joey. But check out all of our content. Check out Pod and Play every Saturday through May. Season 2 runs through the end of May. This week's episode is The Order 1886. So Ed and I had a very interesting discussion about that game and some games maybe it should have just totally just ripped off. So check that out. Check out our squad goals coverage. Last week we did a whole Sea of Thieves squad goals. This week is Halo 4 and Fortnite. Jesse and I, man, I love playing Fortnite with Jesse, man. He's such a good leader. Except for yesterday, he kept forgetting me when to tell me he was jumping out of the plane, so I just had to like chase him down.
Yeah, because we were talking, or I was talking. I was running my mouth, and and I was just like, oh yeah, I should probably tell him that I'm jumping out, because that's the thing is like when we're playing, like other than doing the shows here, like that's like or chatting in our in Facebook Messenger or whatever, we don't really get much time to really talk outside of that.
Yeah.
Outside of the shows. So it's like when we're playing those, we're usually just talking about everything that's going on in life or whatever, and then like sometimes we're not really paying attention to what we're doing, and it'll be apparent when you're watching the videos, but I mean, it's just we're having too much fun and just
Very true. It is a good time though. I love playing games with you guys. Like I look forward to every Saturday night, and I'm like half tempted to tell the guys like we're leaving PAX or Boston on Saturday, and I'm like, can we leave a little bit early so I can go home and play games with my friends? So, but Jesse, where can we find you on this weird internet place that we live on?
You can find me on Twitter at @sub_humanist, and that's and then like if you want on Facebook, you can find me, just at Jesse Douglas, whatever. And then if you want friend code, I have it in my my friend codes in my information underneath my my whatever on your name and stuff like that on Facebook. So people can find that there, and then I can give you my Xbox screen name and all that stuff too if you want.
Yeah, you should just send that information to me so I can just put it in the description of the episode, because I started doing that on NGR proper, and I've been meaning to ask you guys for that stuff. So, but
you should put it, like those, what are the 800 numbers back in the day where they used to they used to blink, they would blink. We could put our friend codes blinking on the screen.
Call now. They'd just be blinking like
Wow.
the whole commercial, like
Add us now.
Wow. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and you can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other podcast apps.
Yeah. And you can find me at CoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me on a plethora of other shows here on NGR Radio. I highly recommend watching instead of listening to Nerds Gone Rogue this week. It's a very visual episode. I'm just going to put it that way. We found a meme of Moose, and we used it to our advantage. That's all I'm going to say. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us on iTunes or your podcast service of choice, rate us, leave a comment, all that stuff. And just click the youtube.com/NGR Radio link in the description, and you guys give us an audio listen.